So first of all, I'll tell you for free that you see in a studio or with, as a musician, when you're recording or when you go record your song or whatever it is, the person that pays for the production of that record, the person that pays the producer that pays for the maybe if you eventually have a music video or whatever, the person that pays for all of that whole recording process is the executive owner of that record. This is putting it in very simple terms. The person that pays, the investor on that your music that you recorded, yes, it's your talent, yes, you wrote the song, yes, you did this and that, but the person that pays, the person that invests and makes the payment for this particular record that you have recorded and finalized and everything before putting out for promotion and so on, belongs to the executive producer, and that executive producer is the person that paid for it, taking it vis-a-vis. All right. Now, what are we talking about today? This morning I saw the report by Eezee. That's how I just put it. Eezee Concept, the guy that signed Messi Chinwo, who Messi Chinwo is on his label, and of course Messi Chinwo. Messi Chinwo is a big deal. She has blown out of proportion. She's a big deal. She's one of the biggest gospel artists in Africa. Take it anywhere, she's a big deal. I don't know how else to put it, but Messi Chinwo is Messi Chinwo. Well, apparently there have been things going on the background about her trying to get her catalog from Eezee Concept, the label that signed her, and of course, clearly, the guy is not budging, and maybe this time around, I don't know what would have happened, and he decided to come out to talk about it, and the fact that saying that there's in fact over $600,000 has been made, or that she has made off the label. This is apart from maybe shows, concerts, and all of these other avenues that she would have earned from. What I think is the crux of this issue is the fact that she's trying to get her catalog back, more or less own her catalog. Now, what's the music catalog? What's the catalog? Catalog is actually copyrights of the songs that have been either that are in existence or that have been created under any circumstance, maybe a label, or it can be individual, or it can be a label activity. If you look at the internet, or if you do a little bit of research, you see that when it comes to catalogs, we've had a couple of instances and maybe controversies about catalogs. Not a lot of artists own their catalogs. Owning your catalog is a big deal, especially if you were once on the label and left the label, and then we now hear that you own your catalog. It means that you would have bought out your catalog. You see, all the songs recorded under a label that that is sponsoring, or that is the key investor in an artist project, most definitely owns the artist's catalog. I mean, that's the actual investment. It means that if the artist is no longer interested, if the artist decides to hop and leave one day, I mean, the only way you can recoup your money back or your investment back is from that catalog. You have to exploit the catalog. You have to keep, spreading the music that has been created under the label while the artist was there, and then that's how you can actually recoup your investment. And of course, when you get into a contract as an artist, there's the clause. There's always what happens when the artist wants to leave the label. What happens if the artist is no longer interested, in working with the label? What is going to happen to the catalog? All of these things are stated on the contract. So for some people, you have a situation whereby the label will exploit the contract, especially when there's no debt owed, when there's nothing, no outstanding. The label will exploit the contract for maybe 10 years, 5 years. It depends on what you agree on, from the get-go. But if you don't have any of that, or maybe even if they have something to say, they are going to keep the catalog for life in perpetuity. If you don't spot it, or if you don't know about it, that's it. It's what it is. The label owns the rights to that particular record, or the group of songs that have been recorded under the label. It's the masters, they own the copyrights, they own the masters, they own everything as far as that artist and the music created is concerned. In fact, in some cases, the label even owns the artist's name. So a lot of things can go on, or can not necessarily wrong, but can happen when you get into a contract, and even when you want to leave from that contract. Now, Messi Chinwo has become very, very big, and I always say, if you have watched all the past episodes I've put out here, that when it comes to issues like this, we always want to hear from both sides of the the coin. We've heard from this guy publicly. Truth is that according to what he put out there, it's seeming like Messi Chinwo is dealing with him from the back. He said he has been arrested. He has, they've locked him up for like 9 days. They've extorted money from him. They've done this and that, and then he has continued fighting for what rightfully belongs to him according to the contract that they sign. Contracts are bought out. You cannot, not contract per se. I mean, contracts are, yes, contracts are bought out, but I'm going to say that catalogs are bought out. You have to sit down and we'll decide on how much you are going to have to pay as an artist to the label before you can go with your contract, with your catalog. If you also, do a bit of research, you realize that even for sometimes it might not be, when it comes to catalog, I mean, it may not be for the whole song that you created over time. I've heard the situation where Michael Jackson bought out the catalog of Eminem, especially after Eminem dissed him, some, the earlier days of his career. Michael Jackson, late, bless his soul, bought his catalog. I think not necessarily all his catalog or maybe all his music, but I think that it had to do with certain songs, or maybe the particular song that was used to diss Michael Jackson. And just felt like it was disrespectful for Eminem to do this, and he used some other way, and and bought that particular catalog. So imagine when somebody buys out your, and that's not even the only example I have. I also have the fact that Nas also bought a particular some kind of catalog as well, or maybe song of Jay-Z's, in fact Jay-Z's catalog, not the whole catalog, a particular song or something that Nas owns the rights to it, because somehow, some way, the same way, they found a way to buy that particular catalog. I don't know what the situation is right now when it comes to those things I'm talking about, but these are things that happened, before. Over time too, different people. There's one time the Beatles or so, somebody was able to buy their catalog or bought their catalog. So all of these things happen. It happens everywhere. It's a normal thing. Sometimes if you have so much money and you just feel like, hey, you want to invest in music or whatever, some people, what they just do is go for catalogs and try to buy catalogs of either the artists or labels, and it's normal. So catalogs are not things that you just go to court and go and cry for, or go and sue that you want to collect your catalog. It doesn't happen like that. You have to buy it out. You have to pay for it. You have to, do the sweat and blood of it to take it. And sometimes it's not really cheap. If you locally here, that Wizkid did not complete his contract with, or his time with EME, but guess what? They sat down, had a conversation, and the guy bought off either his catalog or off his contract. One of the things that have been going on lately again is between Ashake and YBNL, where the words are that he wants, of course, he's out the contract, but maybe he wants his catalog, or maybe whatever the case is. Bottom line is that you just can't walk out of the contract, or you can't just say you are no longer doing it again, especially if the contract contains or says that you're supposed to spend certain time. If you don't want to spend that time, there's always a penalty for it. There's always something you have to do for it. There's always a sacrifice you have to pay for it. It's either by forfeiting something, or paying something, or whatever it is. These things don't happen automatically. You have to follow or go by the books, especially the contracts for what has been put down or what is being done. So there's a Chinwo and Eezee Concept, which is the label, will have to still probably come back. I mean, according to the guy again, he's saying that Messi is refusing to come to adopt or apply the multi-door conversation that they need to have before anything or any action will be taken. It means that maybe they're for mediation, for arbitration, whatever. They might have to come down, sit down, discuss and agree on how she's going to take over the copyright for her records. So no matter how, there's no sentiment. This one is not a question of Christianity or we are brothers and sisters, or it's just business. But hopefully, I pray that they find a way to resolve this amicably without the stress. But I mean, even if you use law enforcement and whatever will happen, the contract will remain. Nothing. They cannot beat the catalog of the label owner. They cannot manipulate it off him. It's his right. It's it's law. It's binding until you go through the actual process or due process to reclaim or regain your catalog and copyright. But for now, it belongs to Eezee Concept. Whatever the case is, even if you feel that they are not treating you right, or they cheated, or they did this, look, it's what it is. And this is the same case for a lot of artists. Some artists, they get into a contract hungry, without hopes, or they just want to get into the contract, just want to make music and let somebody take that burden off them for that moment. And right after they become comfortable, right after they blow, then they now want, they want more. They want to regain or take back what they probably had to forfeit initially. But it is not done so easily. You have to follow the books. You have to go and follow due process to get back whatever you feel like you may have lost or might be missing out on. I mean, that's the bit I can tell you for now. If whatever the case, the story is there on the internet. If you want to get full details of what was being said or what has been said, you can read it all up there on the internet. I always say that if you are a fan of music, if you are a music head, if you're an entertainment lover, whatever, you have to actually be in key. You have to be in tune with what is going on. It's all there on both on Instagram, on Twitter. It's everywhere on the internet. If you want to know the key details of what's going on between Mr. I want to say Mr. Eezee Concept and Messi Chinwo. For now, I'll take a break, and if there's something else that I have to tell you, I'll come back again. And then it's James Silas, and this is Entertainment Business with James Silas. If you've not subscribed to this channel, guy, what are you waiting for now? Beg, just support me small. Support me small. Look, this year I have to make 10,000 subscribers. I don't care how you're going to do it. Tell somebody. I want to make 10,000 subscribers this year. It's possible. Peace.